In 1968, the famous bisexual author Gore Vidal wrote the satirical novel Myra Breckinridge in the form of a diary. The book tells the story of Myra, a transsexual going through gender reassignment surgery and hormones. Myra is fascinated by the Hollywood of decades before, and takes a teaching position at the Academy for Aspiring Young Actors and Actresses, where she pushes an agenda of female domination, focusing on straight student Rusty Gadowski, by first isolating him from his girlfriend Marianne Pringle, and then sexually dominating him. In the end, Myra gets in a car accident, has her breast implants removed, and reverts to Myron, a male eunuch, who ends up being with Marianne. The book mentions an orgy, a dildo, anal sex, and drugs, and it was considered by conservative critics at the time to be outlandish pornography in written form, and the worst of American literature. But it was critically acclaimed as a classic by others and became an international bestseller. Vidal hinted that the book was based on diaries of Anais Nin, a longtime companion of his, and he later wrote a lesser-known sequel to the book, Myron. In 1970, a film adaptation of the same name was made, Myra Breckinridge, starring newcomer Raquel Welch as Myra, and featuring Mae West, who appeared after a 27-year retirement from film, and Farrah Fawcett, and the movie was directed by Michael Sarn. It's also the screen debut of Tom Selleck. The film, which pushed censorship limits with its sexual explicitness, including Myra's domination of Rusty, was poorly received and is considered by many to be one of the worst American films ever made. It initially received an X rating, though an edited version of the film was granted an R rating years later. Stock footage of the child Shirley Temple performing in the film received wide criticism, as Temple herself was a United States ambassador at the time. One of the harshest critics wrote, quote, "Myra Breckinridge is about as funny as a child molester. It is an insult to intelligence, an affront to sensibility, and an abomination to the eye," end quote. Gore Vidal himself disapproved of the film.